Welcome back, my fellow mobile gamers, to the 100th episode of this weekly video series where I highlight the 3 most interesting mobile games that I played last week. If you're new to these videos and to this channel, then consider leaving a like and subscribing if you like what you're seeing, because I've got lots more mobile gaming goodness planned for next year and a ton of old videos of great mobile games that you can dive into. Now, in this episode, I'm going to be covering one of the best physics-based puzzle games I've played this year, an open-world MapleStory-inspired 2D MMORPG unlike anything I've ever played before, and a follow-up to one of mobile gaming's earliest huge successes. So we've got a great episode ahead of us, and let's just start by having a look at Legends of Idleon, which is a unique open-world indie idle MMORPG with resource collection, crafting, loot, humorous NPCs, and a level design and combat system that draws heavy inspiration from MapleStory's platform-based 2D world. Arguably, this game's most unique feature is that we can control up to 6 characters at once that we fully customize with unique stats and classes. So this means that we can turn one character into the best possible miner, while another specializes in, for example, woodcutting or mage combat. While we manually play one character at a time, the other characters then continue working on the latest task we set them out to do, which is where the idle part of the gameplay comes in. Now, all 6 characters share the same bank slots, but individual inventory slots per character are very limited, so it's important to micromanage each character and either store or sell the loot it continuously acquires. And this means that, ironically, despite the idle aspects, playing Legends of Idleon provides a much more engaging experience than most of the modern auto-gameplay MMORPGs that populate the mobile markets these days. There are quite a few gameplay systems in this game, and they do provide lots of depth, but it also means that it might take some time to learn them. Likewise, quests only give the bare minimum information required to complete them, forcing us to actually manually explore the world and basically learn by doing, something that is very rarely seen in mobile MMORPGs, but something that I, as an old school MMORPG fan, can really appreciate. The game monetizes through relatively inexpensive $1 to $20 in-app purchases that allow us to progress faster, acquire extra inventory and bank slots, and buy cosmetics that have bonus stats. Since there is no PvP content in this game, however, free players are never impacted by paying players. The game requires online access, it takes up 119 MB of space, it's available on both mobile and very soon on PC via the Steam platform as well, and as one of the most unique takes on mixing idle gameplay with solid MMORPG systems, it's definitely worth taking for a spin for any fans of those genres. Now, this week's next game is a bit simpler, but not any less interesting, because Early Worm is a fun and colorful physics-based platform puzzler by the power hover indie developer Oddrock. So, in this game, we play as a worm, and our goal is to get to an apple at the end of each one-screen level by swiping and releasing to flick our worm character in any direction. Depending on how few moves we use, we can then achieve between 1 to 3 stars in each level. The 80 well-designed levels introduce a great variety of platforming and puzzle-solving elements like glue, moving objects, rotating rooms, and lots more that makes each level feel like a truly unique experience. Combined with the pleasant animations, a polished art style, and simplistic UI, it creates a fantastic indie puzzle game. Early Worm monetizes by showing ads between some levels, which can be removed completely through a single $2 in-app purchase. The game can be played offline, it takes up 157 MB of space, and it's basically a must-play for any platform puzzle fans. And now we're gonna get to what I would argue might be this week's most interesting game, because it's something I never thought I would see again on mobile. It's a follow-up to one of mobile gaming's most iconic and early games, Fruit Ninja. But Fruit Ninja 2 is here, it released recently, and it reimagines the same core gameplay of the first game by introducing multiple new game modes, quests, events, and, this is the interesting part, even real-time multiplayer. Now, the core gameplay remains the same across all game modes, and it hasn't really deviated much from its predecessor: slice as many fruits that fly onto the screen as possible without hitting the bombs. New to Fruit Ninja 2 though is the entire progression system that allows us to unlock blades with different stats and power-ups that we trigger during combat. The game also looks better than ever, and everything from the sound effects to the UI and the art style is very polished. But the most interesting new thing about this game might just be the real-time multiplayer league system that lets us play versus friends or random opponents online to improve our ranking and receive rewards at the end of every season. PvP in this game is especially hectic and challenging because we see both our and the opponent's fruit at the same time, but we must only hit our own fruit. Fruit Ninja 2 monetizes through a $14.99 free month battle pass, if you incentivized advertisements and then in-app purchases for an XP doubler, new power-ups, and a few other items. This monetization system does not impact the single-player experience, thankfully, but paying players do have a pay-to-progress fast advantage in the PvP League system. We need to be online to play the game, it takes up 448 MB of space, and while it's clear that it has both adapted modern gameplay progression and monetization systems, the single-player and friends-only PvP still provides a fun blast to the past. That was it for episode 100 of this video series. I really hope you enjoyed it, and thanks a lot for all the support over the years. It really means a lot, and it's what motivated me to go full-time on creating mobile gaming content just a few weeks ago, as some of you might know. So once again, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, just keep gaming, stay awesome, and I'll see you guys around.